Awesome. All right, Catherine, I will give you the floor to just hop on and start talking about yourself and Hotjar.
Perfect. All right. Let's jump into it. I'll try not to be too heavy on the slides. Not a huge slide person. But let's see. Can we see my screen? Okay. Okay. Looks like we're doing good. Awesome. Well, I'm super grateful for the opportunity to get this time with you all. I know you're probably super busy with all your different client projects and things you're working on. So thanks for taking the time, and I hope it's useful for y'all. If you have questions along the way, please feel free to reach out. My name's Catherine. I help manage the partner program here at Hotjar for the Americas. I'm kind of like the partner manager. I was on our sales team for the last 2 years, so still kind of can get involved in that sense and help in the sales process with your clients, and just have a lot of knowledge about the product and everything. So I'm excited to work with y'all. And yeah, so quick overview. I'll just kind of touch on, what is Hotjar, a little bit about some of the use cases for how you could potentially use it with your clients. We'll get into a little bit of the partner program and kind of that process for if you have a client interested, what our referral kind of scheme looks like and how you can get started. So it's a bit of an agenda for today. So let's go forward. So, okay, what is Hotjar? Hotjar is, it came out of our founders. They were they worked at a conversion rate optimization agency, and they were really frustrated by not being able to have access to insights about what users were doing on the website. You've got your traditional analytics like Google Analytics, and other tools that give you different reports, but it's really hard to see like what's leading to those numbers sometimes and really get that looking glass into your website. So that's where Hotjar came in. We've got a few different tools to kind of give you that other side and help you empathize with your users. So we've got recordings and heat maps that's showing you kind of what your users are doing on your site, where they're going, where they're engaging, how far down they're scrolling, where they get stuck, all that good stuff so that you can make decisions based on data instead of kind of feeling and opinions. And then additionally, we have some other tools like our survey tools, which allow you to kind of pop up questions throughout the experience. Maybe you want to run an NPS survey or a post-purchase survey and get people's feedback, because that can help kind of round out as well your sources of data. And then last thing, we also recently added an interview tool. So if you want to do, it's more geared towards, your UX folks probably, but it's for running kind of moderated user interviews if you're doing any of that as well. So that's a bit of an overview. Just some other stats here to share. So kind of why it's important to understand your users. And I won't go into it in too much detail, but basically a lot of people leave websites when they have bad experiences. So it's really important to make sure that your users are having a good experience and not getting frustrated and with your sites. So let's dig in more. So yeah, just another overview slide, I guess. So these are kind of the core tools that we've got, plus that interview tool that's kind of new. So pretty straightforward. Okay, and I wanted to touch on sort of like the main reasons that people would use Hotjar. So the big things really, I would say, especially for agencies, are, when you're trying to make decisions about what to do on the website, it can be hard to sort of say like, this is why we should do it, convince your clients. Maybe they have opinions and feelings, and they don't necessarily want to trust your expertise. So having data to back up why you're suggesting a change or an improvement can really help in that process. Similarly, something I've been hearing from other agencies is that it can also be like an upsell tool. So, you can use Hotjar to find opportunities for improvements and optimizations that you can make on the website that can then lead you to sell, more services to your clients. So I think it not only helps with the project, but also helps you kind of sell the project as well. So yeah, we've got a bunch of use cases here that we put together. It's a lot of information, so I was thinking I would just kind of share all of this with you after the call and kind of dig into more of like what Hotjar looks like to start with. So, after the call, you can kind of dig into these different use cases and case studies here, but basically, a lot of different examples essentially for how you can use this. So let's jump in to the demo. Let me go ahead and stop sharing real quick and reshare my full window actually. Okay, we're back. Okay, so I was going to show you real quick the kind of the Hotjar interface here for those of you who haven't used it before. There's a couple clients at Smart Sites already using it, and I had the opportunity to meet with some folks before this to chat about that. But for those of you who have never used Hotjar before, this is the interface. Welcome. And how you would get started is it's pretty easy and simple. We try to keep everything super simple. You'd create an account at hotjar.com, or since you're in the partner program, you can send your clients your referral link and they can sign up through that. Once they create an account, you'll get a tracking code, and that tracking code just needs to be installed into the website, into all the pages that you want to track, typically across the whole website. We see a lot of people using Google Tag Manager to do that just because it's quick and easy. So that's what I would recommend, but we have a lot of integrations with other like CMS platforms and things like that you can draw on, or you can do it manually in the code as well. So once that code is installed, Hotjar is going to be in the background collecting information about your website. Basically, all of those user sessions that are coming to the site, we'll be able to display them as individual session recordings, as well as heat maps, which are kind of our bread and butter and why a lot of people come to us. So I'll go ahead and I'll show you the heat maps real quick. Let's create a new one. And what's cool about Hotjar is that we'll keep your data for 12 months as well. So you can go back, you can look at different date ranges. Maybe you're running a campaign at a certain time period and you want to see how it was performing and what the engagement was like on the page after they arrived, things like that. You can do that, and you can basically put in any page on your website and get a view of it. So right now we're just going to look at our main home page, and then you can also filter this as well. So if you want to filter by, maybe you're running an experiment and you want to see like different variants of that experiment, or a specific traffic channel that you're interested in seeing how they engage versus other sources. I'm going to do new users since we have a lot of returning users who come to our homepage to log in. And then we've got a few different types of maps that you can look at. So, you can look at the click, where people are clicking, how far down on the page are they scrolling, where are they sort of hovering and spending the most time on the page, and some other maps here. Let me just grab that one. So this one is already saved by someone on our French team, looks like. Perfect. Okay, great. So we're looking at our first heat map here. So we'll automatically pull out like what are your top 3 clicks here with these buttons, but you can always turn that off here. So I can hover over kind of all these different areas and see just how many clicks this particular button got in this time period. And then I can go and view sessions as well if I want to see what users were actually doing kind of in the moment there. So this is great. I think another thing I've heard as well from people is like, we don't want to spend all this time tagging the website with all these different events so that we can understand how many clicks something got. This is like a very quick and easy way for you to get a visual report. And it makes a lot of things clear and kind of obvious when you look at it. So it can help you kind of simplify and streamline your design if things are too busy, things like that. So let's look at, so this is the click map, and we've also got the movement map, which can be great for I know you all are doing some SEO work. So, if you've got articles and things, you want to see if people are reading them or engaging with them. This is a good proxy for like where people are reading and sort of hovering and spending time. So you can see kind of in these areas, we've got some action going on there. And then finally, we've got our scroll depth map. And this is great for, maybe your landing pages where you have contact us form at the bottom, like are people actually making it there, different CTAs. So from here we can see, 100% of people made it, to this page, who landed here made it above the fold. But as we go down, we start to really lose people. Like we've already lost 50% of people at this point. Which is fine for us because we want people to just jump right into the CTAs here, but depends on your use case and situation. So as we keep going, we've lost some folks. So this is also available for desktop, tablet, and mobile. So if you have clients with mobile heavy websites, we're compatible with those as well. In this case, you would just see tap and scroll because we can't really get the hover as easily with the mobile. Let me just check and see if we have any questions so far in the chat. Nope. Awesome. Okay. So that's kind of like our key tool here. I'm going to touch on one more thing, which is our funnel analysis tool. So I know with GA4, there's been a lot of turmoil. People aren't super happy. Although we're not like a full replacement for like an analytics tool like that, I think this can be really helpful for you to see kind of where your drop-offs are within your website and help you do sort of like an audit potentially of a conversion flow within your site. So I'll just give you an example. So we've got a few different steps that we can put in here. Maybe I want to see people have viewed a certain page or clicked on a particular element. And this is really cool because you don't even have to create any events or anything. You can just put in the text of the button and we'll pull out how many people clicked on that thing automatically. So, and you can specify, the specific page that it appeared on, or you can get really granular, like with the CSS selector as well. So my example would be, I want to see people who go to our pricing page and then who go to click on get started here. And then the final step would be making it to our dashboard, which is where we are right now. So from there, we'll get this funnel where we can see exactly how many people made it through each step, who dropped off. So that way you can tell, okay, we're experiencing major drop off on this step. Let's focus in our efforts there and try to figure out, how to plug the hole in the leaky bucket, so to speak, with that. And what kind of sets this apart from your typical Google Analytics would be you can actually view those user recordings. So if there's like major drop off on a spot, you go in, you study those recordings, maybe you watch the top 10, top 20 sessions and see if there's anything really obvious there that's preventing people from converting and, get you those quick wins to help you sort of improve and help your client deliver results. So I'll show you an example recording real quick. Let me go to our different area here. I just want to show you what it looks like. So the recordings, I know some people get a little freaked out when they hear recordings initially. So we're not recording any like face or anything like that. We're a European company and we take privacy super seriously. So we're not really capturing any IP level data, just to the country level. And then we'll also block all keystroke data, email addresses, and numbers. So no sensitive data is actually making it to the Hotjar servers as well. But we can take a look at this one. This is just a user kind of browsing our help center. And let's see here, maybe I'll show you a different one. You can see kind of where their mouse goes. Yeah, so this gives you an example here of what they're doing. Perfect. Okay. I won't go too deep into it, but sometimes what we'll see people do is, you know, set up like a Hotjar watch party, maybe with your team or with the client as well. You can pull out some example recordings where you're seeing some unusual behavior or undesirable behavior, and use those to then sort of say, hey, we've been observing this behavior on your site. This is what we would recommend that you do from here, and kind of experiment from there and kind of build your hypothesis and test out some new options or designs, whatever it may be, to help change that behavior. So perfect. So that's the recording side. And then, yeah, there's more to it. I mean, if you want to launch surveys, you can pop up sort of surveys throughout the experience, but I won't dig into too much of that right now, because I want to get back to some of the partner stuff before we end and be able to have some time for questions. But I'm always here if you want to do a more deep dive with me at any point, or if you need help demoing to a client or setting up a trial or anything for the client to test all the features. So perfect. Okay, let's see, any questions so far? I think we're good. Awesome. All right. So in terms of the partner program, let's say you have a client that's interested in getting started with Hotjar. I will give you a little overview. So we've got a few kind of pillars of the partner program. So the big one really is the kind of the monetary rewards. Cassandra, I don't know if you had shared kind of the commission structure with the team. Cool. Perfect. And then
Yeah, we have it in our spreadsheet, but I'll also send it via email after this call.
okay, excellent. Yeah, so that's for the lifetime of the user subscription. So we'll keep, you know, if they're on a monthly plan, we'll keep sending you those rewards. Even if they stop working with smart sites, you'll keep getting those rewards. And then there's different kind of amounts depending on if it's a monthly, an annual, or multi-year contract. We'll give you more for the longer contracts. Yeah, on top of that, you know, we also try to do some product training, sales enablement, kind of what we're doing now, and co-marketing activities and things like that is something we're hoping to do more of this year. So, okay, perfect. So, oh yeah, here we go. So this is kind of how it works. So in our scenario, the client would have their own account and they would bill directly with us. You know, we do have some other arrangements, but this kind of is how we've been doing it so far. So you would send your client the referral link to sign up for an account. If they use it, they get a free 30-day trial. So this is instead of our standard 14 days. We also have a deal registration module too, if you prefer not to use the referral link with your clients. And there's a few other details here. Last thing I wanted to touch on was the discounts. So we also like something we've been hearing from partners is they want to, you know, have some additional benefit for being a Hotjar partner to share with their clients, so we can negotiate additional discounts. Obviously, I don't want to like reduce the value of the deal for you, so that's something we can do on an ad hoc basis as needed with specific clients. So you can always reach out to me and we can discuss in more detail. Okay, and this was just kind of like a typical sort of what you can expect working with Hotjar in your first 60 days. Won't go into too much detail there. Okay, I think the next thing would be really like, how do you pick a plan? How do you help your client find the right situation for their needs? So we have a few different products within Hotjar that we touched on. So each one has its own plan, but I'll focus on the observe side of it. So that's the heat maps, the recordings, you know, like seeing what users are doing on the site, sort of the core product. So all plans come with the heat maps and the recordings, but then there's two different tiers. So there's business, which is more just the kind of the core functionality. It has, you know, integrations with other tools, all the different filters. But if you wanted to get access to some of these other features, like the funnel analysis tool, we also have console tracking if you want to find errors on your website. And depending on the spend as well, we'll assign like a customer success manager to the client account as well. So just kind of two different tiers, you know, maybe depending on what they need. And, they can go with the starter plan of business, or they can go with scale. I think the few accounts that we have are on the scale plan already, actually, the ones that are with Smart Sites, because I think for the funnel analysis tool is a big draw for people to go to the scale tier. So, and then, yeah, these are the different kind of tiers that you can expect. So, starting at 500 sessions per day and going up from there. I guess I didn't explain that too well. So each kind of tier has different amounts of sessions. So you kind of need to figure out, okay, how much traffic is this website getting per month? You can divide that by 30 to get their average daily sessions. And then we recommend going with a plan that covers all of their traffic. So that way you have a fully representative sample. That being said, sometimes people, if they have really high traffic, they might go for a lower tier plan and just take a sample. So that's kind of what we're looking at for business. We also tend to offer a 20% discount for yearly plans, so you can kind of factor that into these prices as well if they go for an annual option. And then this is the scale plan, so it's about double the cost. So I think the plans that we have, or the clients that we have from Smart Sites are on this 500 daily sessions tier for the scale plan. So I think that could be a good entry point. Oh, I didn't realize this did this. Okay, yeah. So this is just more info about how to suggest the right plan for your client. So you can take a look at that. Perfect. Okay, yeah, and just some more info about me. Just, if you need my contact info and what I can basically help with, whether it's training, co-selling, helping with onboarding for clients, feel free to reach out to me if you need help with anything. And here's my info. So awesome. Okay, that was a whirlwind. Thanks. Okay, cool. Well, any questions from anyone so far on this? We've got a few minutes to dig into it.
So I kind of know the answer to this already, but just wanted to ask if you could chat about it. But like ideal clients, like are there any platform limitations, specific industries to look out for?
Yeah, I would say like there's not really any platform limitations. Like you can really just install it on any website. We don't really work on native apps. So if they have like a mobile app, through the Apple Store, that kind of thing, we wouldn't track it. But for any web apps, websites, you can track those here. And really, we have such a wide range of different clients. So I would say like e-commerce is quite a big one, but we also have a lot of B2B and just various different types. So we have people ranging from, small service-based business, maybe like, an HVAC. I think I was talking with someone the other day who their client was doing HVAC and that type of services locally versus like large companies, like big pharmaceutical companies, for example, as well as another one that I've worked with. So it can really range. So it's really anyone who's trying to learn more about what people are doing on their site. So.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. Will, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, not so much a question, just more of like a comment and plug for you guys. I do have a client currently that has Hotjar that they implemented a few months ago, and one of the real useful things that we found with Hotjar is that this client's website has a lot of blank space, to kind of put it nicely, right? And it's one of those. It's one thing to say that to the client, but it's a whole nother thing when you can actually leverage data and then show them, hey, look, you have X% of people dropping off and you've scrolled, hardly any on the page. And in this case, we found that we were losing a lot of people down the page, and he had a lot of sell points that he wanted to get, eyeballs to that were further down the page. So after seeing that data, he's now going back and tweaking the website some. At least he says that's the plan, to tweak the website and get it a little more user friendly. So that was really useful. That's been my only experience with Hotjar thus far, but that's a nice benefit, for a PPC analyst when you can have the client upgrade their website. that's always good for you because A, you don't really have to do anything there, and you're probably going to get better results out of it. So I just kind of wanted to give you guys that quick plug.
Thanks, Will. I appreciate it. I'm excited to hear how that goes with the changes they make and what result you have. Perfect. Colby, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, so you said that there is a free trial option. How long is the free trial for?
The free trial is a month long. Yeah, so I think it's a good amount of time too, because the normal one that you would get through the site is only 2 weeks. But if they sign up through a partner, it's 1 month. And I like that because there's no strings attached really. They don't have to enter any credit card info to get started. So even if they just use that 1 month, you can still get a lot of insights from that, and then they can decide if they want to continue from there. So and then we have a free plan that they can go down to if once the trial ends, if they end up not making any moves on a plan.
And then the daily sessions. So it says up to a certain amount of daily sessions. So that means after those. So what are the daily sessions?
So daily sessions. So session is when someone comes to the website and they have a whole journey. They go to all these different pages and then they leave the site. That's one session. So we'll kind of capture, basically you pick a plan depending on how many sessions the client is getting to their site per day. And all of that data is kind of what goes into the heat map, or you can view the individual sessions as recordings. So yeah, did that answer your question? Or?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
How many sessions are on the free plan, out of curiosity?
There's 35, so I can pull up our pricing page here that we can look at together, and you can always go through this with your clients. So I think it kind of helps display it a little better. So we've got the free version here, 35 daily sessions. The plus has 100 daily sessions, and then the business and scale both start at 500 daily sessions, and then you can kind of toggle, and try out different amounts there.
What is the recommended amount of daily sessions to get a good amount of data?
I would say 100% of the traffic on the site. So I'll show you another landing page. I have this example here. This is just kind of a landing page that talks about why we recommend full coverage. So this is like, a heat map with 5% coverage versus one with 100% coverage. You can just feel a lot more confident because you're collecting all of the data versus taking a sample, for example. So you really have to kind of ask your client, like, how much traffic are you getting to the site, and then go from there to recommend the right plan. But there's a few other examples that you can look at here, like, if you're filtering by people who converted or almost converted, you have a much smaller pool of users to draw from if you're not capturing all of your traffic, things like that. So good question. Thank you.
So I guess Mike, to rephrase the question, because I work with a lot of small business accounts that aren't ready to spend 80, 100, $200 a month on a service or anything, depending on how many sessions they get and stuff like that. But I have a lot of them of going, hey, I need to install something to see if their website and landing page is working, and where we're losing people, because I've been coming across that a lot.
I would say, get them on the trial, and then they can go down to the free version. Thanks for joining, everyone. But yeah, I would say you can get them on the free version. I think that's really awesome, is you can already get heat maps and session recordings of users on the free plan. You just have a more limited amount of data, and then as they see the value, you can move them up into other tiers. They want to be able to filter by different things or integrate it with Google Analytics and things like that. They can get those features on the higher tiers. But
the free trial, how many sessions does that come with?
So out of the box, it's on the business plan with 500 daily sessions.
Okay.
But if you contact me, I can also tweak it and adjust it, and according to what they need or what their traffic is.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, no worries. All good stuff. Okay, well, I think we're 1 minute over now, so I'll let you all go. But feel free to reach out if you need help with anything. I'm always here to help.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Catherine. This was great. If you don't mind, could you send me the presentation? That way I can disperse it with the team.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, have a great weekend, guys. Thanks so much for hopping on. Talk to you later, Catherine.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.